I'm joined now by Simos Anastasopoulos. He is the president of the American-Hellenic Chamber of Commerce. It is one of the most influential business organizations in Greece. Clearly, Simos, this is a very touch-and-go situation. We are sorry for your capital right now and all that's going on. Tell us what you have heard about and how you feel this vote may go down in Parliament. It's supposed to happen at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Hello, Liz, and good evening.
Good evening.
This is indeed a very difficult night. The government and the Prime Minister are trying to pass the new measures through the Parliament. There are some street-level protests and even some rioting in the streets right now. There is, as always, a small minority that is demonstrating on the streets. This happens most of the time, I'm afraid. Mm-hmm. However, the vast majority of the people are for the euro and for Greece to remain in the eurozone. And the Prime Minister's proposal, I think, will be supported by not only the vast majority of the cabinet and his party, but also by the opposition.
Well, it's more than just small pockets, perhaps rioting small pockets, throwing Molotov cocktails, but truly important to mention that it appears from what we have heard that Alexis Tsipras, the Prime Minister, has been unable to garner a real majority at this hour of votes to say yes to the austerity plan, which Simos, he had just encouraged Greeks to vote against a few weeks ago.
Well, in reality, it was a different plan at the time, and we did speak about it last week. Yes, I think the Prime Minister realized even at the last moment that this was not the right direction for the country, and I think he went back to the to our European friends and partners, and he was able to negotiate a deal that was indeed maybe harder, I would say reasonable at the time and under the circumstances, and it seems that the plan today has his full support. Now, opposite to what you are saying.
Yeah.
My understanding is that although the Prime Minister doesn't have the majority of his party, and I mean the Syriza party,
right,
he has the majority of the votes of the cabinet and of the opposition. So I expect that even austerity, as you do call it correctly,
Simos,
the new plan, it will pass with high flags from the Parliament today.
Okay. Simos is saying, Nigel, that it will pass in the Parliament. Yeah. And the Nigel I'm referring to, Simos, is Nigel Farage of the UK Independent Party, who has been very much against Greece remaining in the Eurozone, hoping that they will vote against it. Nigel, Simos is making the case that it will pass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm listening with astonishment. I've got ex-Goldman Sachs bankers, I've got military generals, I've now got somebody who purports to represent the Chamber of Commerce, I've got the establishment. The very same people who thought Greece should join the euro are now, after a contraction of the economy of over 25%, with 60% youth unemployment, with a country on the edge of bankruptcy and the hospitals running out of medicine, telling us it's all OK, it should pass in Parliament tonight, and only a small minority are on the streets. Listen, 61% of the Greek public voted in an open referendum to say no more. They did that despite the threats. And at some point here, the establishment, the big banks, the big businesses, big politics, the vested interests must wake up to the fact that the opinion of people matters. And I have to say this, if I'd been a no voter and seen my Prime Minister turn his back on me under intense bullying from the rest of Europe, I would now be absolutely furious, and I completely understand what is happening on those streets.
All right, so Nigel, you're also part of the establishment, God bless you, and you look great in that suit. So let me just ask you this question. You're voting no, you're exiting, you're now returning to the drachma, and what's your 3 to 5 year plan for the Greeks? And what do you say to the Greek pensioners and the civil servants that are going to be down to 8 to 9 cents on a dollar of where they would be if they stay in the euro? Go ahead.
This shows a misunderstanding of what devaluation is. When a currency devalues against the dollar and against the euro, that does not mean that your pension in Greece falls by the same amount, because the cost of everything else in Greece goes down as well. Look, if Greece stays in the euro,
you don't understand importing and exporting to say something like that.
I mean, I do. I understand.
I don't think so.
Hang on. I understand cost-push inflation. We saw it in Iceland, who in 2008 had an 80% devaluation of their currency. But then now back in good, steady growth. Greece should never have joined the euro. She was afflicted with the wrong interest rates. She now has the wrong currency. She needs a major devaluation.
Well,
without it, she'll become a third world country.
Well, we will see if Simos is correct on whether we will see a yes vote. Simos, thank you for joining us. We truly appreciate it. Quickly, in 10 seconds, if you could.
Okay, I understand that Mr. Farage has his own views about the European Union, even the drachma and Greece's role in it. This will pass, and this time, if we do go through with the reforms, together with some reforms for growth, everything will be much better. I'm absolutely convinced.
Simos Anastasopoulos, we appreciate you being there.